Much like we covered immutability with numbers, we're also going to have a quick video on immutability with strings. Now, it acts a little bit differently, and it's quite interesting how a string reacts when we call methods on it. Similarly, when we reach objects and arrays, they all have different methods as well, but the way the two differ is because of how strings are passed by value and objects and arrays are passed by reference, so they behave differently. And don't worry about it too much now, but we'll come on to this as we progress. Now, what I'm going to do is create a constant, and we're going to call this the immutable string. We'll give it a value, I shall not change. And then on the next line, what we're going to do is create another constant, and we're going to call this the uppercase string. Now, all we're going to do is call immutable string, and then we're going to look at a method called toUpperCase. Now, we're cheating a little bit and getting ahead by looking at some of these methods available on the string prototype, but to demonstrate immutability, we're going to dive in and start using them. So the next thing I want to do is simply log both of these out. So let's go ahead, immutable string, and we'll also do uppercase string. So you can see here of what's happening. We have I shall not change, and then a capitalized version of I shall not change. So why does this mean that strings are immutable? Now, we could actually blow this away entirely and just reset this back to having one variable. Now, it looks like here we're performing some kind of mutation to the string, and in fact we are, but because we're not using that variable and assigning it, we don't ever have access to it. Now, the fact that it's immutable is because this is again passed by value. So it takes the string literal, it takes that raw value, and then essentially copies it and then performs a toUpperCase modification to the string. Now, because it's copying it by the value, this means that it does not get in the way, or it does not modify or affect the original string. Now, I'm showing you this again because as we continue through the course, we'll be calling methods such as this on arrays and objects, and they do, in fact, mutate the existing values. So this is just something that I'm showing you up front so you get an understanding of what does and what doesn't act in an immutable way. So this, in effect, cannot be changed even if we want to mutate the string by calling an uppercase. We could also do a toLowercase, and we'll just demonstrate this by changing our method over to lowercase, and you can see everything, and our I is the one that's been changed here all across to lowercase. So with that in mind, it's a good example just to get your head around how JavaScript acts when we start mutating things and doing things with it.